So after yesterday's news from Spain about Joao Felix potentially wanting to return to England but not to Chelsea have come out, Fabrizio Romano has taken the opportunity to give us some clarity. I've got it here. Thiago Silva, a couple weeks ago, I told you guys he could be asking for his exit from Chelsea. A lot of you said you're making it up, you're fishing for likes and you're looking for clicks. Well, guess what? You're wrong, because Matt Law has come out and he's reiterating the same story. I demand apologies. Number 3, we've got a new structure for the loan army. What are Chelsea going to be doing? Are they scrapping it all together? Yes, they are. They've got a new model and we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down into the little details and we're going to see how this version, in my opinion, is a lot better. And finally, Andre Onana looks like the special player Chelsea are seeking to sign, and Mendy has got new representation, so it looks like he's going to be moving on. Let's get into it. Roll it up. Let's go. Welcome to the Kavkas View. If it comes across as I'm a little bit annoyed, then I am. Because I got called out yesterday for, oh, you're making up fake news, you're doing it for clicks. I'm not making up anything fake news. Listen to this. When I bring you guys news, it's news that is out there and written by journalists. It's news that is written by different journalists in different countries. None of this news is coming from me. I don't have sources. I've said this on many occasions. I'm a news aggregator. I bring it to you and I give you my opinion. Most of you read the title, read the thumbnail, read the clips, and all of a sudden you go off that. Watch the bloody videos and you'll understand when I tell you, you know what guys, I don't think this is true. And this is this. You don't have to agree with me, and honestly, you don't even have to watch. You genuinely don't even have to watch. If you think what I'm doing here is fake news and I'm giving you guys false information, false hope, and I'm doing it for my own gain, don't watch. Don't watch. Genuinely serious. The people that actually do want to support me and do want to watch my content, it's very easy what I want you guys to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel because you're clearly enjoying it. And in the comments below is my Instagram. Go follow me there. Hit me up in the DMs with football related questions. Send me the articles that you guys see, potentially want me to react to video wise. It's a great way to build a community and it's a great way to be open and honest. I'm not here to lie to you guys. I'm a Chelsea fan and I don't need to be getting myself gassed up for players and then for us not to go and sign them. So now let's get into the news. The Joao Felix saga is gonna be annoying me all summer, because now we've got Fabrizio Romano coming out with a little bit of news, and when Fabrizio says something, we sit back and listen. So yesterday, like I said in my video yesterday, there's news from Spain. The journalist from Spain openly came out and said that Joao Felix is very keen to play in the Champions League. He's very keen to move back to England, and it does not have to be Chelsea. He could be interested in a club that's already in the Champions League. So potentially Manchester City, potentially Arsenal, potentially Liverpool if they make it, Man United if they make it, and Newcastle if they make it. What is wrong and what is false news about that? Nothing. People are just too emotionally attached to the news and they get angry. Now Fabrizio is coming out with a different stance. He's coming out with his stance that he's been saying consistently. Chelsea are planning for the future with Joao Felix. Chelsea believe that they're going to retain his assets next year. Joao Felix is very happy at Chelsea and wants to stay. And there have been no ongoing discussions at this moment in time until the season ends. And the reason being is because Chelsea want to understand if Mauricio Pochettino or whoever is the next manager wants Joao Felix. If they don't want him, Chelsea could do a U-turn on the player. And more importantly, Atletico are concentrating on their season and Chelsea are concentrating on their season. And then they will start renegotiating. And like we've been hearing from Fabrizio Romano, Atletico want £88 million. Chelsea aren't going to give him that. They're not going to give him that under no circumstances. Chelsea are going to try lower their fee somewhere close to 60 to 65 million pounds. And after that, they're going to actively go and try to sign the player on a permanent or even on a loan with an option to buy. Very simple, very concise. Now I hope you lot understand the current predicament we're in. Another story that's been really getting me a lot of abuse recently. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because the channel's getting bigger and a lot of trolls are coming, because that's exactly what they are. Like, I'm getting a little bit more stick all of a sudden and it's a little bit rattling, I'm not gonna lie. Thiago Silva, a couple weeks ago we saw his auntie on Instagram post a picture of him in a Fluminense shirt and said, wouldn't it be great for this to happen? A Fluminense striker, when Thiago trained with him a couple months ago, said, you know what, we would love to have him back. And then it sparked a little bit of interest. Thiago was liking a post and there were magazine pictures of him and Marcelo in Fluminense shirts, and the rumors arose that Thiago Silva could be asking for an exit out of his contract in the summer. A lot of people said, Alex, you're talking nonsense, you're fishing for stories, you want to get more likes. Well, guess what? Matt Law, who's close with Chelsea, basically a Chelsea insider, has come out and said Chelsea won't stand in his way. If Thiago Silva avidly wants to go, Chelsea won't stand in his way. Fluminese's owner has recently come out and said, look, we really like Thiago Silva, but it's not an option. We can't afford to buy him. But if he's on a free, maybe we can start having a discussion. Guys, this is something I can see happen. The reason being is we've got Wesley Fofana, we've got Levi Colwill, we've got Badiashile, and we've got Koulibaly. Koulibaly could be the veteran in the team. He could lead the next generation into tomorrow for next season. You've got Badiashile, who needs game time, Levi Colwill, who needs game time, and Wesley Fofana, who needs game time. If we're playing with a 4 at the back, 2 centre-back, 1 senior veteran, 3 young players, battling it out for 2 positions. You can always move to 3 at the back, bring Cucurella back in, and all of a sudden you're loaded in that position. We've got a youth setup that develops good players. So for me, it's not really an issue if Thiago moves on. Am I going to miss him? 100%. I still think he's elite. But at the same time, I am realistic in what I'm seeing. Thiago has done more than enough for this club to warrant a move away from the club if he deems it necessary, because he wants to move back home to Brazil with his family. So for me, it's not an issue. And you know what? I can't wait to find out what's happened. A position that I am very eager to find out what happens next in is the goalkeeper. We all know my main 3 priorities for the summer, and it goes in this specific order. I want a keeper, CDM, and then I want a striker. And only then I want a striker, because I genuinely believe in a better system, we're going to score goals. It might not be optimal amount of goals, like 100 goals in a Premier League season, because it's very tough to do, but I think we can crack 70 goals in a system based, because we did it under Tuchel, 76. Andre Onana has been linked with the club again. Andre Onana's name has been on everyone's tongue due to the fact that they watched him in the Champions League. Look, a lot of people don't watch football. They read stats, they play FIFA, and they play FM, and they base their opinions on players basically based on the manager mode or the seasons that they generated and simulated in that season. Then they watch a couple clicks on YouTube and make an opinion. But now, because Inter are in the semi-final of the Champions League, a lot of people actually watch the keeper and they say, you know what, he's good with his feet, he's a decent shot stopper, and he's a good goalkeeper. He makes very good aesthetic saves. Like when Onana makes a save, he proper exaggerates the way he pushes the ball out. So, for me now, a lot of people are diving on. And apparently Chelsea are interested in a special way as well. That's according to Fabrizio Romano. Fabrizio said Chelsea are eager to bring him in and they're looking at him in a special way. I don't know what that means. I really don't understand the wording there, because it could be lost in translation, or because it's Fabrizio's second language, he just worded it in a way that maybe it means something in Italian that it doesn't mean in English, but I don't understand what he's trying to explain here in a special way. If someone cares to explain it to me in the comments below, I'd understand. But the ramifications of bringing in Andre Onana is that either Kepa or Mendy will be moving on. And in this case, it looks like it's going to be Mendy. Look, it's very difficult to get Kepa off the books, and Mendy wants bigger wages. You need to understand, Mendy wasn't a footballer for the length of time as some of these other players. He never earned the money, and he doesn't have the generational wealth accumulated that some of these players who've been playing from the age of 17, especially like, for example, if you look at Mendy in comparison to a Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Ruben's money is a lot higher, right? In the sense that Ruben came through the academy, Ruben signed a proper deal, and Ruben's been getting like 100k for a while. Mendy's on 40k if I'm not mistaken, or 30k a week. Yes, to us mere mortals, that's a lot of money. Football lifestyle is not a lot of money. After tax, after all the lifestyle, money starts running. So Mendy has got himself a new agent. He's with a new agency, and usually people, when individuals go and get new agency and new representation, is because you're going to be moving, because you're going to have to pay the representation and you want a nice fancy little contract. So I think we need to start preparing ourselves for life after Mendy. Mendy basically hasn't been a Chelsea player for a while now, like since the start of the season, since he made that mistake against Leeds and Potter came in. Kepa's been the #1 choice, and it's really a shame, because I think Mendy was a good goalkeeper for us, and there's a lot of good memories. And the first barren spell he had at the club, and then he got injured, he really got isolated, and now he's just no longer even a piece in our jigsaw. Like, he's fit, but he's not even playing. So it's really frustrating, but I wish him all the best. What I do think is very important, and a lot of people don't understand, is the way that we're apparently redeveloping our youth and loan system. So under Marina, it was very easy to understand, right? Chelsea would acquire a bunch of players that they believe had a value on the market, and they would consistently loan them out. By loaning them out, I mean literally loan them out for a fee, and that's one way of generating revenue. We did this with Kurt Zuma. We loaned him out to Stoke and Everton. We generated a lot of revenue from him. We did it with Thibaut Courtois, who ended up literally repaying his transfer value back for the number of loans he had. We did this with so many players, to the point where some players went on so many loans that they never even made an appearance for Chelsea. They essentially were a piece of generating revenue from the side. It was like a healthy investment for the club. Well, with the new FIFA regulations, I think you're only allowed to have 8 players on loan at a time. Chelsea are going to be more stringent with the players that are going to go on loan. Reason being is they want to make sure that only the players they see having a future at the club, at the first team, are going to be the ones on loan. Chelsea are going to be more picky, and there's a new criteria of if they see you having a future, you can go on loan. If they don't see you having a future and the manager and the board agree, time to move them on, time to sell, and time to make a profit. What this means is, in the long term, get prepared for a lot of the young players that are at Chelsea Football Club. Once they reach 20, 21, and they're not under a certain age to go and get a loan, they're going to be getting sold. And a lot of people are going to be angry, a lot of people are going to be frustrated, but sadly, this is the way the world works. Chelsea bring him in, they develop him, and they will after reap the rewards of the investment of the 5-10 years that these players have been at the club. Look guys, you need to understand, these players come in at the age of 6 sometimes, and they end up being at the club for approximately 7 years, 10 years, 15 years in some cases. And after that period, Chelsea have to make their money back. And the reality is, they end up making a massive profit. And these kids leave wealthy, because the reality is they get Chelsea on their CV, they get the absolute best training in the country at Chelsea, and more importantly, they're on a healthy salary. These kids and their parents understand what they're signing up for, and they understand the positives and they understand the negatives. It's a contract, right? Give and take. So the reality is, no one should be complaining about this. This is the best for the players, because players need to play. That's my argument. There's no point going on loans and with no hope and having false optimism, and then every 12 months you need to restart somewhere else. That's just my opinion. I want to hear yours. Sorry. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out.